more than capital, Orbimed brings a huge global network to effect for our startup companies. We have about 20 large health systems in the US as limited partners, a couple of the largest pharmaceutical companies. So we're frequently able to get them audiences and feedback with some of their potentially large customers. And in addition to that, we have a global presence. So we have offices in Asia and Israel as well as in North America. And as some of our more mature private companies seek to go international, we're able to support them in those endeavors as well. And then finally, Orbimed's investment doesn't end just on the private side. About half of our assets are on the public side, and we tend to support many of our successful private companies after they go public as well. Well, I think Europe has some unique challenges, and one of the observations we've made as well is that growth rates for most European digital health companies have been slower than what it's been in the United States. Part of that's a function that any single market just isn't quite as large, and so part of the challenge for them to grow as fast as their counterparts elsewhere in the world is the ability to operate throughout Europe, or at least in multiple countries, which is a challenge. So I think to see more successes within Europe, we're going to need to see, the second part that's missing in Europe is the ability to go from pilot to scale fairly quickly, and that's where some of the local health systems could be more supportive. But what we do need to see is more scale deployments, more operating across borders, and we are interested in companies that have gotten a degree of success in Europe where we can successfully bring their technology and deploy it in North America as well. Well, one of the key challenges is really finding companies where there's urgency. Almost everything in healthcare is broken, so it's easy for an entrepreneur to walk in and say, here's today, here's technology, and here's how I can make it better, and they're almost always right. But the problem is health systems have hundreds and hundreds of competing priorities. So it's really finding the companies where there's urgencies that things have to happen in the next 2, 3, 4 years, where they can have significant growth, make very efficient use of our capital. And so that's really the biggest challenge is finding companies that have a good fit, market fit with the urgent needs that the health system have today so that they can enjoy rapid growth over the next few years. We've seen a tremendous explosion of capital coming into the market. Investments in healthcare IT have gone up 400% to 500% in the last 4 to 5 years, but we're not seeing the same corresponding exits. And we think that's because too much of the money has gone into companies that don't have that urgency. So the ability to find that combination is really what we struggle with day in, day out. And I think you see that beginning to happen, I think you'll see more successful healthcare IT exits that match the amount of money going in.